What's going on YouTube? Sek here bringing you another video, and today is the very first video in a series that I'm extremely excited to bring to you guys, where we go through and review and analyze each subclass from each character in the Destiny 2 beta. Now, since this is the very first video, I wanted to start off with the character that I am going to main in Destiny 2, and that is the Warlock. So without further ado, here is the Warlock Dawnblade review. Now, to start this off, I think the biggest question in everybody's mind going into Destiny 2 is, will the Dawnblade be replacing the Sunsinger subclass? Now, through doing some research, I didn't find anything about Bungie publicly coming out and stating that the Dawnblade will replace the Sunsinger subclass, but there are a few new abilities that lead me to believe that Bungie is trying to do away with Sunsinger. But in the end, nothing is written in stone because Bungie has not come out and publicly stated anything, so everything up to this point is just speculation. Now, the first thing everybody notices when you inspect the Dawnblade subclass is the new super ability, appropriately titled Daybreak. You remember all the way back to Destiny 1 when they announced that they were going to release new subclasses, and you thought Stormcaller was the shit? Well, this tops it by about 100, because nothing says pure awesomeness like being able to rain fire down from a sword on anything in your path. Now, in the description, when they say smite your foes from the skies, they mean from the skies. And through some trial and error, it is definitely most effective from the sky, hence why they would put that in the description. The only reason being is when you're on the ground, the spread of the fire is not at its max capabilities, and you leave yourself a little bit more exposed. But when you're in the air, it is a lot easier to be more accurate and land a precise hit on your enemies. Now, there's one upgrade that I noticed for Daybreak that makes your super 10 times better than it already is, and that upgrade is called Everlasting Fire in a new section of the upgrade tree called Attunement of Flame, which you need an upgrade point to get, and in the beta, upgrade points were not available. But the description on Everlasting Fire is killing an enemy with Daybreak extends its duration, which essentially means the more kills you can get, the longer you can have your super, which sounds like a pretty damn great upgrade to me. And if the story mission and strike were any indication as to how many enemies we're going to see in the raid and other activities in Destiny 2, this upgrade seems like it'll be a very crucial one. Now, another new set of abilities that I found to be extremely beneficial and help make the Warlock class overall an extremely valuable asset to a fire team is the addition of the Riff ability. Now, this set of abilities takes inspiration from the Titan's Ward of Dawn from Destiny 1, in which you had Weapons of Light and Blessings of Light, and on here you get the Empowering Riff and the Healing Riff. Now, there are slight differences between the two, whereas the Titan's Ward of Dawn gave you a bubble that everybody could hide behind, and also gave you the two buffs. On here, you simply get a rift, there is no shield to hide behind. Now, with the Titan's Blessings of Light, you were instantly granted an overshield once you stepped foot inside the bubble. And once you left that bubble, your character carried on with that overshield until the enemies took it away, or the time limit of you having it just ran out. With the Warlock's Healing Rift, it gradually increases your health until you have max health, then it gradually gives you an overshield. Now, if you're taking an immense amount of damage because there is no shield to hide behind, you will die, it will not save you. Now, the one thing I did not test was if two Warlocks drop the healing aura at the same time, will it increase your health faster? That's something that will definitely be tested in the future. Also, with the Titan's Weapons of Light buff, your character held that buff for an extensive period of time after being outside of the bubble. With the Warlock's Empowering Rift, your character has to be inside the rift in order to get and keep the buff. The second you leave, the buff does not continue with your character. Now, the first thing I mentioned in this video was there were certain upgrades and abilities that seem to indicate that Bungie is trying to do away with the Sunsinger subclass and replace it with Dawnblade. And with those abilities that I mentioned, none of them are new. They're all entirely replicated from Destiny 1, and that is the jump glides and the grenades. The upgrades are identical to the Destiny 1 upgrade tree. They might have new animations, but the grenades and jumps themselves are exactly the same. Now, the ability that makes the jump glide so unique in the Dawnblade subclass is an ability called Winged Sun under the new section of the upgrade tree called Attunement of Sky. Now, the upgrade Winged Sun is actually modeled after a Destiny 1 upgrade for the Warlock Sunsinger called Angel of Light, in which your character could hold themselves mid-flight, fire weapons and throw grenades while gliding. And the amazing thing about this upgrade is that it works on any of the three jumps. Now, the only downside to this upgrade is while you are in the air, you do take a hit to your accuracy, so you have to compensate for that. And while taking this hit to your accuracy, if somebody is a sure shot in PvP, they're bound to kill you while mid-air. And as far as PvE goes, I don't think this upgrade is going to be that much of an issue, unless we run into some boss that's got absolutely amazing accuracy. Now, other than Winged Sun and the Attunement of Sky, the other most notable upgrade is the ability to dash mid-air, which was originally introduced to us in Destiny 1 through a piece of armor for the Titan called the Twilight Garrison. Now, this upgrade is fantastic for PvE and the Crucible. Being able to dash out of the way of any incoming attack is just awesome. The only downside to it is there is a 10-second cooldown. Now, some of the less notable upgrades for this subclass are things that we actually have seen before in Destiny 1. Two of those abilities being the last ones in Attunement of Sky, first one being Heat Rises, which essentially is getting kills while you're airborne, recharges your grenade melee energy faster, and then casting your super also instantly refills your ability energy. And the final ability of that upgrade tree is hitting an enemy with your melee ability to burn them temporarily increases your movement and reload speed, which we've seen before and is really a helpful upgrade. Now, the final section of the upgrade tree that we're going to go through is the abilities that need an upgrade point, and we've already gone through one of these, but we're going to go through the rest of them. Now, the first one is Igniting Touch, which is striking an enemy with your melee ability to burn them will cause them to explode, which was a very early on upgrade, I believe, in Destiny 1, and it was definitely one of my favorites, and clearly we took that for granted because now you need an upgrade point for it. Now, the second upgrade for Attunement of Flame is called Fated for the Flame. Daybreak projectiles seek targets as they travel and upon impact launch a streak of deadly flames. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty badass, and I want that upgrade now. And one thing that I noticed while using the super is when you're in the air casting down the flames, you do have to be very scary accurate in order to get a full hit on someone, so that upgrade is going to be extremely helpful. Now, the third upgrade we've actually already gone through, and that is killing an enemy with your super extends its duration. And I think very early on, this is going to be a lot of people's favorite upgrade, and probably their first upgrade in the Attunement of Flame. Now, the fourth and final ability in this section of the upgrade tree is called Phoenix Dive, in which you are able to quickly descend to the ground and restore your health. And while your super is active, this descend causes explosive damage. Now, this sounds like it is going to be an extremely useful upgrade, and besides being extremely useful, it's pretty badass. You hit the ground, and shit explodes. Now, with all that being said, that is everything that we were able to see in the Destiny 2 beta for the Dawnblade Warlock subclass, and I absolutely cannot wait for September 6th, because this game is looking fantastic. Now, in the end, I grade this subclass a solid A. I would give it an A+, being that it is the character I am going to main, but there are several different things that we have not experienced about it, and I get this slight feeling that Bungie is going to give us different things with the subclass when the full game comes out, but I could be wrong, but I do have that feeling, so I'm going to give it a solid A. Now, that's all I got for you. I appreciate you watching, sticking through to the end. My next video is going to be a Voidwalker subclass review. I'm going to be going through every single subclass for every single character that was available to us in the beta, and that's it. That's all I got for you. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share me around, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.